It's Louisiana Derby weekend, March 24th and 25th. So yesterday, the racing weekend got started with the 5th at Rose Hill in Australia, where the mighty mare Winx was going for her 24th in a row and the $1 million.
2.5 clear from Happy Clapper. Here's Winx moving up on the outside in Kementari. The Colts trying to go with the champ. Invincible Gem, 3 lengths clear from Winx, getting into her work now. She went straight past Kementari. Happy Clapper's running the big race today, but Winx moves up now at the 150. Heads off a game, Happy Clapper. Kementari gets going late, but Winx is edging clear for a world record of 17 Group 1s, and Winx wins it by 3/4.
Oh yeah, 17 Group 1s and 24 in a row. Talk is maybe she goes to Royal Ascot and leaves her native Australia for the next one. The 3rd at Gulfstream was my first win locally. It's a 3-year-old claiming event. Number 6 High Blue looked to be the prohibitive favorite.
From last to get up into second with Judas Sunset and over criticized, but 3-5 looks like easy money on High Blue, who's long gone. High Blue and jockey Misael Jaramillo throttled down in the end. They won it by about 8.
Triple the bet, and I had my first winner at Gulfstream. The 2nd at Fairgrounds was a state-bred stakes for 3-year-old fillies, the Crescent City Oaks, and number 6 Testing 1-2 was my best bet of the day. She was cross-entered in the Fairground Oaks, the Grade 2 event, and I thought she'd be a long shot there. She's much better in here. The 5th at Gulfstream was a non-winners 2 lifetime claiming event going 7.5 furlongs on the turf, and I thought number 1 Samurai's First Lady looked tons the best. Planned to triple the bet. When there were 2 scratches, everybody said she'd be a prohibitive favorite, and she sure was. So I upped the bet. Oh, I upped the bet.
All clear and a long gone winner. 1-9, not much, but it's still easy money, as Samurai's First Lady is a gate-to-wire winner. She'll win it by as much as she wants. It'll be about 6 in the end.
Didn't make much money, but it's good for the stats. The 6th at Gulfstream was the Any Limit the Cove featured with the Grade 3 Hutchison later in the day, and the Any Limit was for 3-year-olds going 6 furlongs for the fillies, and for the Colts, and number 4 Elevens was coming off an impressive win last time out. Planned to double the bet, but again, everybody thought he looked much the best. I re-examined it, looked at the multi-wagers, and I upped the bet on him as well.
All 3 lengths off the lead while trying to quicken as they run to the top of the stretch. On the inside and Roses in the south, over the top and Elevenses from between horses. It's 1 breath at a time, and twice around makes it 4 across the course. Final 1/8 of a mile. Elevenses getting on track, trying to get to 1 breath at a time. 1 breath at a time is dead game. Elevenses surging past. Elevenses makes hard work.
My 3rd win at Gulfstream, and that is my 5th win of the day. Until we got to the 9th at Oaklawn, the Purple Martin Stakes, a 6 furlong sprint for 6-year-old fillies. What caught my attention was that Mia Mischief had finished a photo finish away from filly superstar Amy's Challenge in the Dixie Belle last time out. Amy's Challenge came back to set the pace and go all the way to deep stretch in the Grade 3 Fantasy Stakes, going 2 turns her first time around the Router ground, and Mia Mischief just looked tons the best, especially at this sprint distance. I planned to go in big time, but then I read a quote from trainer Steve Aspey, said that this was a good financial spot for her and that she wasn't as prepped as she had been earlier in the meet. I'm like, I don't know, so I backed down to 15 to win. She got off a bit slowly, made her move.
Takes charge, and she's now 2 in front. Salt Bay is battling on, but she's now back in second. To the outside, Criminal Mischief is 3rd, and Mia Mischief runs away, and she's now 5 in front. Salt Bay can do nothing but watch her run away. Mia Mischief. Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. And that ended that day at the races. So I came out here today on Sunday because it's Florida Cup Day at Tampa, where there are multiple state-bred stakes races. and so I have both picks from Tampa and Gulfstream. First selection at Gulfstream was a non-winners of 3 lifetime, where number 4, Little Irish Dancer. Her last 2 speed figures beat 152 of the 154 speed figures on the page, and the only one that looked to have a chance was 6, Lania Akea, who did her best running loose on the lead, and I didn't think that was the case today. Little Irish Dancer looked for room on the far turn.
Akea turns first with the lead. Hold That Kitten is second, trying to work into the clear. Little Irish Dancer with Make Big Money and Lexi's Doll with 1/8 of a mile left to go. With the lead, it's Lani Akea, Little Irish Dancer loose and closing with Hold That Kitten.
Come on, four, go, four, six.
First win on Sunday. Second selection of the day was the second from Tampa, and despite its positioning on the card, it was the first stakes race, the HRN Sprint Stakes, and it was the bet of the day. Number 4, Imperial Hint. We weren't going to get rich that way, but there were only 2 reasons to bet against him. First of all, he was exiting the Breeders' Cup, and it's well documented the horses making the first start after the Breeders' Cup are overbet and don't win. And secondly, he was going to be such a short price. But his last 6 buyer speed figures were all triple digit numbers, and 58 numbers showing in the past performances for his rivals here, 1 other triple digit, which was earned in July of 2016. He had Imperial Hint had a 5-race winning streak snapped in the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Sprint, and you think, well, he probably was overmatched. No, he was second. Looked to be prohibitive favorite under Javier Castellano, under a firm hold into the far turn.
Runs by Delta Bluesman. Up on the outside, DeLand now takes over third. Epic Dream is now back to fourth as they turn into the stretch. Imperial Hint, being confidently handled by Castellano, is still well clear. Down along the inner rail, Mo Cash is coming on to be second. DeLand on the outside third. But down to the wire, it was a glorified workout for the outstanding sprinter, Imperial Hint. Reeled in and was never asked for a run at any point in the race.
50 to win on the bet of the day. The 4th at Tampa was a maiden special weight for 3-year-old fillies going a mile on the turf. And Chad Brown sent over Paulita with Javier Castellano on board. I wondered why run at Tampa when there are probably several of these at Gulfstream. Still, figured she was much better than any of the Tampa-based fillies. And Javier, number 6, Paulita, make her move into the stretch.
Under a perfectly turned ride.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So, when we get to Tampa's 6th race, another maiden special weight for 3-year-old fillies on the turf, Castellano, for Chad Brown again. Had to wonder, was the 4th any kind of clue as to how the 6th would be run? Looked at my second choice and I thought, you know, it's a better price and maybe I should change my bet. No. Stuck with number 5, Night Owl, tripled the bet.
Moves to the outside and sets the favorite down for the drive, but meanwhile up front, Sluey's Chosen One is still the leader, but now shortening stride. Night Owl swings to the outside in full stride now to be second. From between horses, Rapids is third. Here's Night Owl on the outside, now going to the lead. Sluey's Chosen One is digging in gamely with Rapids, but down to the wire, it's Night Owl. We'll take it as the favorite going away. Sluey's Chosen.
Oh yeah, another winner. The 8th Gulfstream was a claiming event going 7.5 furlongs, and I thought it came down to the 2 program favorites, number 3, Athira, and number 6, Plain Air. Both were 3 for 10 on the turf. Both had very similar buyer figures, but the difference for me was that number 3, Athira, was going for Frank Calabrese with Luis Saez, the top jockey, on board. Stalked the pace in the far turn.
Second is Athira. Meanwhile, Vineyard Nina's bid was stalled as Fearless Princess moves by her. Then at the inside is La Pantalones Fancy. Athira trying to get to the leader, a square to spare. Athira is getting to the
Doubled the bet on my next winner. The 8th at Tampa was the Turf Classic going 9 furlongs, and number 3 Galleon Mask was a double buyer advantage horse. Looked much the best. Made his move coming out of the turn.
The upset, but now Galleon Mask swings to the outside and set down for the drive, and Swagger Jagger is coming up with a huge effort. Second main is now underway. Inside the final furlong, Swagger Jagger and Castellano, but here's Galleon Mask on the outside, and these two will slug it out. It's a hard
Second. Wait, objection. No. Thought he waited too long to take off. Oh.
Sisters Keeper is second, 3 wide. Fighting Glory is now third. Back to fourth and running home is Awesome Class, and they swing for home. Perfume Lady needs to dig deep. She is. She leads at a length and a quarter. Fighting Glory on the outside. My Sister's Keeper is next. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. Saya is all over Perfume Lady.
Come on, let him go! Come on, dude! Come on! Come on!
The 10th at Gulfstream was a non-condition allowance, and everybody's bet of the day was number 4, Just Talking. She'd run second and third in her last 2 in Stakes Company at big odds 18 and 20 to 1, so she wasn't expected to run that well. Today, with the drop into allowance, Jason Service, who rules with turf sprinters, 36%, and Irad Ortiz, a 43% rider for him. Just looked so easy. The only problem was she'd run 15 days ago. Would she be good enough? Right to the front like a 1-2 favorite should.
Junior has hold of the big favorite, Just Talking, who'll be tough to reel in. Trying to reel her in is Ultimate Holiday. She's within the next second. Keep Your Head Up is third. Pastime at the inside finds her best stride fourth. And they're at the top of the stretch. Just Talking. He kicks it into another year. Just Talking fits this field as Sunday good afternoon. 1-2 and going on 1. Just Talking.
Prime time as my best today. My 4th win at Gulfstream. In mid-February, Mark Casse had debuted Noble Commander in a maiden special weight race here, and the Daily Racing Forum's Mike Welsh had made this first-time starter his bet of the day. And what was unusual was that it was a full field of talented colts, and he did it based on Noble Commander's works. Said he'd worked in company with graded stakes winner Salty, who subsequently came back to win her comeback race. So Noble Commander was my top choice that day, and he was odds on, and he won, but he had to work hard to do it in front of another Noble horse called Noble Drama. When that horse came back at the 1st of March, he won by a pole. So today, in Tampa's 10th, the Ocala Sophomore Stakes going 7 furlongs, I thought it was a perfect spot for Noble Commander. So did the crowd. Sent off at even money, was wide all the way in the turn under Julien Leparoux. Then he let the colt go.
Around the far turn, along the rail is Always a Dreamer up on the outside. Silent Tiger, there goes the favorite Noble Commander. Leparoux lets out a notch, and the favorite respawns and now going to the lead. From far back, Rennie Marlin swings to the center of the racetrack, putting in a run, but meanwhile up front, it's Noble Commander now under the whip, and definitely the target. As they straighten away and cut to the wire, Silent Tiger is still there in the mix, way out on the outside. Rennie Marlin and toward the rail is Always a Dreamer, down to the wire. Noble Commander, carrying the colors of Mr. John Axley, will go on to take it by 3.
Tripled the bet, my 7th win today. It was a gorgeous Sunday afternoon to be at the races. From 16 picks, I had 7 wins! 5 seconds, so many close seconds. 2/3, funny how that always works out. Close to 50%. It's a great day, great way to end the week. Got myself a Florida Derby hat. And next week,